Hey, y'all, it has been an interesting summer here in Austin, both from a weather perspective. I'm sitting here, it's cloudy, it's raining outside. It's not been above 100 yet, which is amazing. We've had lots of rain, which is also amazing, but it's been a bit challenging here in the local real estate market. We're going to go over the month over month update here today. So, we're going to talk about year to date, so year over year, looking at last June versus this June. And then we're going to talk about month over month, so May to June. And I like to talk about the month over month uh, just as much because it shows where things are trending. Now, something to keep in mind, we're in an election year. Election years are always slower for real estate sales because there's just uncertainty. They don't know who's going to be in office. They don't know what the policies are going to be. People just kind of wait and see a little bit. And we've had historically high interest rates, not historically high like over the past 30, 40 years, but historically high over the last 10 years. And especially with high prices, high property taxes, and what high insurance for a lot of people and a lot of markets, Austin included. We're seeing it the market slow down a lot because it's affecting affordability. Now we have seen rates come down a little bit these last few weeks. So they were over seven, but kind of this has been the story this whole year. They've been above seven, mid sevens. They even got close to eight at one point in time. Now they're back down into the mid to high sixes. We just had an admin on our team closed a loan at 6.3%. So there are options out there. We have a lender that's buying down the rates. We're seeing lots of sellers buy down the rates, but just the general base rate is right around 6.8% right now. Last I looked, and that was yesterday. But we're just going to go over the market stats for June here real quick, and then we're going to compare them month over month. So I will share my screen so you can see what I am seeing. And if you need any of this information, please reach out. Would love to share any of it. So again, we're looking at June here. Median sales price is 450,000. That's down 6.3% year over year. It's down about 9,500 bucks from May. So not 6.3%, more like 2% from May. Closed sales are down 2,732. It's down 13.4% year over year. It's down about 200 from May. So we generally see June be one of our busiest months. That's not the case this year. If I had to put my money on any one thing, it would be interest rates. Everybody talks about the election. Everybody talks about what's other stuff. Interest rates affect affordability more than anything, and they affect what buyers are going to do more than anything else. The sales dollar volume, 18% year over year. It's down a bit from May. So 1.76 billion in May. We're at 1.58 billion in June. Months of inventory is up slightly month over month. We were right at 5 months. Now we're truly at 5 months, but that's up 1.3 months year over year. So again, months of inventory, that's the best measure of supply and demand that we have in real estate. And the easiest way is to get a quick look and see how fast are things selling. So right now we have 5 months of inventory. And again, I know I say this every time, but again, over 6 months of inventory is technically a buyer's market. And technically is going to be in air quotes there. Under 6 months is technically a seller's market. I would tell you right now, it feels awfully a lot like a buyer's market. I think it's going to be closest to the buyer's market you're going to get in Austin in quite a long time. Once we see rates go down, once we get some more certainty with where things are going with the election, with the economy, all sorts of other things. I know so many people that are waiting. I talk to people every day. I call people every day for about 2 hours a day. And in those calls, the majority of people say, I'm just going to wait and see what happens, or I'm waiting for rates to go down. So keep that in mind when you see this 5 months of inventory. That's the numbers of buyers we have right now with the numbers of listings we have right now. It would take 5 months to sell. If the number of buyers jumps way up and the number of listings starts to creep down, that number will go down pretty quickly. And I believe it will here when rates go down. New listings Obviously, there's a correlation, active listings and new listings. New listings were higher in May than they are in June by almost 1,000. They're down 3.9% year over year. And that translates to active listings. So we have more listings on the market in June versus May by almost 1,000 too. That's up over 25% year over year, though. So a lot more active listings on the market right now. I would say a somewhat normal market in Austin is going to have around 8,000 active listings. We're at 13 right now. What I would call a normal market in Austin is around 3 months of inventory. Obviously, we're higher than that right now. So pending sales down 2.4% year over year. It's down about 160 pending sales from May. Average days on the market is up, but not that much. It's up by about a week over May, and it's only up 2 days year over year. So homes are selling. They're taking 2 to 3 months to sell generally, and they're generally selling pretty dang close to list price. So they're selling at 96.4%. That is up year over year compared to 94.6% in June of 2023. And if you pay attention, that's actually up compared to May. So what does that mean? That means if you listed a house at $100,000, which is not a realistic price in Austin, but if you listed it at $100,000, it was selling for $96,400. Versus May, it was selling for $95,500. So that's trending up. That's good. That means for where people are listing their homes, they're selling closer to that price. That tells me a couple things. What it really tells me is that people are being more realistic in their pricing. And I think that's the biggest thing. So home pricing is not a constant thing. There's so many factors involved there. There's an agent, there's a seller, there's the current market, there's what the competition is, there's what's sold in the past 6 months. There's upgrades and updates that are done to the home. There's the specific location that the home is in, even in the neighborhood. So a home on a busy street is not going to be worth as much as a home in a nice, quiet cul-de-sac. But it might be easy for the seller to say, well, I saw my neighbor over there in the cul-de-sac sold for 500,000. I will list at 500,000. But the reality is people are only willing to pay 450, 465 for their house on a busy street. Now, when I see these average close to list price getting better, part of that tells me that sellers are getting more realistic. The agents are doing a better job. And that, again, homes are selling closer to list price. So I think it's easy as a consumer. All you really see is price that the home is listed at and a price decrease if that's going to happen. You don't see where they close, but that's good data for me to see. That makes me more comfortable where things are going. Rates have gone down a little bit. That makes me more comfortable. Obviously, we have a lot of listings. We do a lot of listings here, so I get a good pulse on the market. It's so week to week about what happens. It's just really all about consumers and buyers' feelings, how people are feeling about things. And with rates going down a little bit, people seem to be feeling more optimistic. Obviously, July is typically pretty hot too. So we have a lot of people that go on vacations in July. July has been an awfully slow month for us too. But I think we're going to see a good pop here in the fall. We will definitely see a good pop when rates go down. All the Wall Street people are predicting with what they feel like utmost certainty that rates are going to get cut in September. I'm not a gambling man. I don't know when rates are going to get cut. All I know is when rates get cut, the market will rebound because that makes home prices significantly more affordable. If rates come down from 6.8 to 6.25, it's going to be a completely different market. Please reach out if you need more information. Again, for buyers, this is probably one of the best markets you're going to get in a long time. Yes, you're dealing with higher rates. Get interest rate buy downs, get them from builders, get them from sellers, pay for them out of pocket if you need to. But that's going to be the biggest difference in getting the affordable payment you want. For Buyers, again, I think this is one of the best times you're going to get in a long time. You're going to have a lot more room to negotiate. You're going to get a lot more credits. You're going to get a great house for a great price right now. Interest rates drop. So many people are going to jump back in the market. That's going to get significantly harder. For sellers, if you're going to sell right now, it's again, this has been the same story over and over and over. It has to be priced right. It has to look great. It has to be presented as well as possible. But that's never going to change. It's just even more important right now. If you need any information, reach out to me, jordan.moorhead@kw.com. Always here to help.